Are We Living in the Last Days? End Times Bible Prophecies. It uses the Bible specifically to find answers.
That's right. And our goal today, our mission really, is to unpack the signs the Bible apparently gives about these last days. We'll be looking at key books, Matthew, Revelations, and importantly, this isn't about, predicting dates or wild speculation. It's about understanding the specific insights and the context that these scriptures offer, at least according to this text we're examining. We want understanding.
Yeah, getting to the heart of it. And that's what we hope to do for you listening. This can be a really complex topic, maybe even a bit confusing sometimes.
For sure.
So we're aiming to pull out the most important nuggets of knowledge from these scriptural references as our source lays them out so you can get a clearer picture.
Okay.
All right, so let's dive in and see what our sources have to say.
Let's do it.
Okay, so first up, our source highlights what it calls Jesus' most direct words on this. That's in Matthew chapter 24.
Mm-hmm.
And it feels pivotal because it's like his straight answer when the disciples ask him, point blank, about the end of the age and his return. What were the key warnings he gave, according to our source?
Well, the source emphasizes that Jesus immediately mentions the rise of false messiahs, people claiming to be Christ and deceiving many.
Okay, deception right off the bat.
Yeah. And then wars and rumors of wars. But what's really interesting, and our source points this out, is that Jesus says not to be alarmed. He actually says these things must happen.
Must happen. That sounds intentional.
Exactly. Our source interprets that as suggesting these aren't just random events, but maybe necessary precursors, part of a larger divine timeline setting the stage.
Interesting. So besides conflict, the source also talks about natural disasters Jesus mentioned. Famines, earthquakes.
Right. Famines and earthquakes in various places.
Yeah.
And the really striking analogy he uses, which our source picks up on, is that these are the beginning of birth pains.
Birth pains. What does the source say that suggests, like, things getting worse?
Yeah, pretty much. The analogy implies, increasing intensity and frequency, like labor contractions. They start, maybe spread out, but then they get stronger and closer together as the main event approaches.
So these signs will become more common, more severe.
That's the idea the source presents. It signals a progression towards the end.
And it wasn't just external stuff, right?
Yeah.
Jesus also talked about social and spiritual decline.
Absolutely. Our source highlights his predictions about believers being persecuted, widespread betrayal, people turning against each other, and lawlessness increasing.
Right.
And then that really chilling detail, the love of many would grow cold.
Oof, that one hits hard. What does the source make of that specifically?
It connects these bigger events directly to the human heart. It argues this isn't just external chaos, but an internal decay. Basic empathy, compassion, even spiritual passion, just fading away on a large scale.
Which would make society more vulnerable to conflict and deception, I guess.
Yeah, it seems to be the connection the source is making, yes.
But amidst all that difficulty, what really stood out in our source's analysis of this chapter was the focus on endurance.
Mm-hmm.
It quotes Jesus saying, "The one who stands firm to the end will be saved." That feels like a crucial pivot. It's not just about seeing the signs.
Right. It's about the response. How do you live through it?
Exactly. Our source really stresses that faithfulness, just standing firm, is presented as the key response amidst all the predicted chaos.
Endurance is vital.
Okay, so from Jesus' direct words in Matthew, our source then takes us to the book of Revelation. Now, this book, it has a reputation, doesn't it? Often seen as just doom and gloom, maybe scary.
It definitely does. Yeah, people hear Revelation and think of, catastrophe.
But our source pushes back on that.
Strongly. It immediately frames Revelation not as a book of doom, but as a book of victory.
Mm-hmm.
It argues the whole point is to confirm Jesus' ultimate triumph over the chaos.
Okay, victory, not doom. How does the source handle the difficult parts then, the signs and events it describes?
It acknowledges them, absolutely. Things like increasing deception getting even worse and the rise of this powerful global figure. The source identifies this figure as the Antichrist.
The Antichrist, and what's his role, according to the source?
Essentially embodying the peak of rebellion against God. He's described as demanding worship, forcing this critical choice on people, allegiance to God or allegiance to this worldly system he represents.
And the source mentions things like the mark of the beast, economic control.
Yes, it discusses the mark as potentially a literal or symbolic thing tied to economic participation, buying and selling. It forces that allegiance issue. And alongside this, it details various plagues and disasters. Pretty intense stuff.
It sounds intense. So how does the victory part come through?
Well, crucially, Our source keeps bringing the focus back to the end game described in Revelation. After all the turmoil, Jesus returns. Visually depicted as riding a white horse, hailed as King of Kings.
Okay.
He defeats the forces of evil decisively. And if you connect that to the bigger picture, the source emphasizes it's all leading to restoration.
Restoration meaning?
Meaning the promise of a new heaven and a new earth, a place where, as the text says, God will dwell with his people, and crucially, every tear will be wiped away.
Wow.
No more death, no sorrow, no crying, no pain. Our source really underscores this isn't just an ending, but a new beginning. Ultimate peace and relationship with God restored. That's the victory.
That's a powerful contrast to the chaos described earlier, a message of hope, ultimately.
That's exactly how our source presents it. Hope and ultimate restoration.
Thanks for resting here at Bible Base. See you on the next podcast. May God's peace walk with you.